Welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert, joined as always with my co-host, Joel Meyer, over there in the shadows. How are we doing today, Joel?
Doing all right. Finally got a full 8 hours sleep for the first time in seems like months. So I'm well rested. I almost slept too much, like you kind of get groggy just by sleeping too much. Maybe I'm just used to like going off of 5 or 6 hours, so it's a weird thing being well rested. I don't know. Anyway, my body's fucked. Yeah, it felt good. Great, actually, last night watching hockey late at night in the darkness. The Utah Coyotes and the Chicago Blackhawks, hell of a game there. Yeah, it just felt really good having hockey back. Yeah, how about you? How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. Bedard got his 2 points. Bedard got his shots on goal prop, so everyone cashed there that had him there. Yeah, sometimes, I very rarely get like a full straight 8 hours of sleep. I don't know, I'm just getting older now. I'm getting that like old man. You have to wake up middle of the night to pee like almost every night. It's just getting to be a bit much. But yeah, always good to get some hockey back, get some good rest there. Yeah, top of the show. We got a lot of new listeners. Make sure you are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on your preferred podcast platform, Apple and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. YouTube, get in the chat. We got Catfish Dilly in the chat saying fuck rest here. Catfish Dilly had a nice JT Miller jersey on today with the Hockey Gambling Podcast hat. So that's some good stuff there.
Okay. I was talking with Dilly in the voice chat on Discord last night, and shout out to Tony, his buddy there, his old vet friend, doing shots with Dilly. A hell of a time there in the Discord, of course. So pop in there. You could even meet some random people, and yeah, like Dilly was getting after it. He still showed up to work today, from what I know. So that's really good. Getting drunk and then just keep on trucking. That's how you do it. Fuck rest, indeed.
Yeah, get in that Discord. You can go to sg.pn/Discord. Search for the Sports Gambling Podcast Network if you're already on Discord, or you can reach out to myself or the Hockey Gambling Podcast Twitter account at HockeySGPN. Follow us there and get into the hockey channel once you are in there to join in on the fun. All right, Joel. I didn't really get to watch too much of the Blackhawks Utah Yotes game last night. I was went to bed a little bit early, but how'd they look? How'd the Yotes look in their new stadium?
I watched every second of this game. The Yotes came out strong. They had a terrific first period performance. They hit the post twice, and they were still up 2-0. They absolutely dominated the first period, but after that, it was actually all Blackhawks. If the Blackhawks had a competent power play, this could have gone differently. And I was fearing for my Yotes bet there in the third period because the Blackhawks were all over the Coyotes, and yeah, we were lucky to escape with the win there, I think, although maybe not lucky is not the right word, but the Yotes didn't really defend their lead very well. Let's just put it that way. If the Blackhawks had a better offense, better power play, this could have turned out differently. Mrazek was okay-ish, and Ingram was actually pretty good. So, yeah, I think that this game should have had a lot more goals in it with all the chances. Plenty of posts. I think the Blackhawks had 3 posts in the second period. So, yeah, it was a high-performance game. It's a nice data point, actually, to get some information. And I think that both these teams could be over teams going forward the way they played last game.
Good to know, yeah, because like looking at the final score,
John Archer says that the over was lucky. There's no way that should have flown to like 9 or 10 goals.
Well, I was about to address that. I just said over was lucky here in the chat. Join us in the YouTube chat. Shout out everyone there. It was a 5-2 final score, so went over the 6.5. I had over 5.5 as a parlay piece on my DraftKings boost there. Yeah, it was what 2-0 after the first. 3-1 after the second, and then 3-2 until the final minute of the third period. They got an empty net goal, and then Utah scored a non-empty net goal 20 seconds later with 22 seconds left in the game to go over the 6.5. So a bit lucky in that sense. Maybe not as lucky given the chances in the game as you're talking about. But
yeah, I'm looking at the full game state. I'm not just like they scored a goal with the goalie still in the net with 22 seconds in. In that sense, fine, it's lucky, but overall, there should have been a lot more goals before that. So I think that is That would have been a bad beat if that
Yeah, it would have been an unlucky loss if it was just 4-2 final.
Exactly.
Yeah, but good to know about Utah. Yeah, good to know they can score, but maybe against better teams they might not fare too well. High scoring teams here, it looks like it as well. Good to see Turbo getting a goal in his first game back with the Blackhawks. Was that the play where Bedard just Mikhail Sergachev just like gave up on the play and Bedard danced around him and
absolutely brutal by Sergachev on that play. Yeah,
maybe he had Connor Bedard props like we all did.
Sure. Yeah, that was an awesome play by Bedard, just getting by him and then setting up Teravainen in there.
Yeah, and then the old man Nick Foligno getting one with that was a tip in because I was still awake for that checking the box score. I saw Vlasic had it at first, but I guess Foligno got the tip in there. Bedard, I think, ended up with at least 4 or 5 shots, so all over on the shots as well. So yeah, I mean, a lot of talk here about 2 bad teams, but when it's one of 3 games on the slate and it's the late game, we're going to talk about it here. And yeah, we don't have any really thing else to talk about. I mean, we made picks last night, but that's for tonight's games. They haven't started yet, so not much to go over there. But of course, thanks as always for tuning in to the Hockey Gambling Podcast. If you can head to Spotify and give us a 5-star rating, only you can prevent corporate gambling from taking over. Joel, anything else from today you want to touch on? Carter Verhaeghe signed a extension, 8 years, $7 million, I believe, last night after the game to stay in Florida. It's team friendly for now. It might age poorly, but no state income tax, cap going up. Panthers just locking up their top 6 core there.
Big commitment, I thought. A little bit of an overpay considering the no tax in that state. But I think it's worth it. Like, this is a guy who provides a lot of offense in the playoffs, especially. He shows up at the right times for the past couple of years, scoring some big goals at big moments. So yeah, I think ultimately it's worth it. Panthers keep on doing the right things. And another one was Linus Ullmark. He signed an extension too. What was his number again? If you have that pulled up,
it was the same number as Swayman, 8.25, but half the amount of years. Only 4 years for the older Ullmark there in Ottawa.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, they're really backing him because we don't know what he is exactly without the Bruins' defensive structure. He was okay. Actually, he was pretty good with Buffalo before that, but I don't know. It's a bit of a commitment still, even at only 4 years. But yeah, I don't know what the Sens are doing exactly. They have a history of making the wrong decisions, especially in goal. So it's going to be a questionable one. I don't know about this.
Yeah, I mean, he was good in Buffalo when they didn't really have a great defense in front of him. Good in Boston, obviously, but now in Ottawa, it seems like just Ottawa always has something go wrong, and like overpaying a goalie would be very Senators of them to do. Is it annoying you how they're like, oh, this is the first game in Utah club history or whatever? Like, they're like, oh, there's no franchise stats from the Coyotes coming over, even though they kept the same roster, they kept all the same shit, and they're like, oh, first game ever. Like, no, the team is moving. I get it. I understand it's the same franchise. The franchise record should hold. They're not. It's the same thing with like the Jets. The Winnipeg Jets have 2 sets of franchise records because like one of them went with Atlanta, one of them I think went to the Coyotes. It's a whole bunch of just nonsense from the NHL.
Maybe. I don't know about any of that, but I like the angle from this new fan base getting to see hockey for the first time. Like Frank Saravelli was saying this morning, how it's like a blind date because the fans, they don't know the players yet. The team, they don't know the fan base yet, so they're just getting familiar with one another. So yeah, it's a good start. Like he was saying that he heard people saying like this is the best live sport I've ever watched in my life. So that's cool to hear. So that's what I'm into. I don't know.
What else? I guess they have BYU's up there. They got BYU football. They got the
Jazz.
The Jazz there, obviously. But there was a tweet here from Ryan Miller. Beer sales for last night reached $120,000, more than any other NBA or NHL event held at the Delta Center. So there were videos going around of people doing shoeies out there as well. So go out, Utah fans. If you're near there, go out, watch a game, have a few brewskis. Have a good time there.
I guess it's not only Mormons who live there in Salt Lake City. Then
I guess not, or this is their one time. Their rum spring of short.
That's right.
Yeah, another goalie extension today. Joey Daccord extend in Seattle, 5 years, $5 million. Even after not getting the start in the opener, it's going to be at least it's an okay contract at the very least.
Yeah, again, limited sample size, but Kraken goaltending needs a bump, and he had a terrific year last year, so I can understand them paying that. Yeah.
Do you know how old he is? I just looked it up, and it surprised me.
30.
Okay, he's not 30, but he's 28. I thought he was more in like the 24.
See, 25. I always guess the under as well, so I went high this time.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, this kid's coming into Seattle, but no, he's 28. Was in Ottawa before, where he started his career. Played 5 games with Seattle each of the past 2 years before last year, and then last year 50 games, .916 save percentage. So a decent sample size for one season, but it's just one season.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he had a great year last year, but limited sample size, and I just don't like giving these goalies this many years this early.
Yeah. And we got Archer in the chat saying, "I'm pretty sure you've done this with the court age." We probably have. We repeat shit all the time. You know, Archer, you would know.
Yeah.
All right, we are brought to you by Underdog. Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all sports. You got hockey, NFL, college football, MLB, MMA, WNBA, NASCAR, and more. Their lobby is jam-packed with profit boosts, and you can now use specials and boosts on all flexed entries. So sign off the promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code HGP. All right, Joel. Anything else? Are you ready to get into this 9-game slate? Finally, a foolish slate here for Thursday, October 10th.
Let's go.
All right, here. This is today's game. Scrolling down, we got the 7 p.m. time slot. We don't have the odds up here at our good friend BetUS. No. So I'm going to hop over to unnamed sportsbook here. I'm going to go for tomorrow's odds. This is poor planning by yours truly here. Kicking off at 7 p.m., we got the LA Kings at the Buffalo Sabres. Game itself is in Buffalo. Sabres are -105. Kings are -115. Over-under is at 6.5. Overpaying off +102. With the under at -122. Joel, take us away here.
Sure. Well, we didn't see the best hockey from the Sabres. They played okay, I guess, in the first game, looking at the stats, but ultimately came well short with the against the Devils. And yeah, they were totally outplayed in the second game, where you'd like to see a better effort considering they lost the previous night. So that's a bit concerning. And now, of course, they fly all the way home to the East Coast here after being in Prague for nearly a week. That's not ideal. And the Kings, of course, this is their first game, and they'll be well rested. I don't know when exactly they got to Buffalo, but I'm sure they got a better rest advantage than the Sabres do, considering the turnover there from the trip from Europe. My number is exactly a pick 'em though, like Kings -100. And I don't know what to do exactly. Like, do you just back the spot? Like, we know about these teams coming back from Europe, they don't exactly perform well. But then again, the Sabres, this is a do or die thing, because if they lose the first 3 games of the season, it's going to be like, oh no, here we go again time. And so I think we do get a good effort from the Sabres, but I still think the Kings are the better team. So I haven't bet this game. I lean to the Kings. I think the total is a little bit high considering the Sabres. They did fairly well in goal, at least. And the Kings, I know they're trying to roll out a new style of hockey based on how they played in the preseason, but it's still the Kings. They don't have a lot of offensive firepower, and they do have maybe not great goaltending, but at least competent goaltending. So if anything, just the under 6.5 here would be my strongest lean, but this is not a game I'm going to be betting, I don't think.
I agree with all those takes, but I have bet the Kings here at -115. They were a good road team last year, going 22-15-4. Same number of road wins as home wins actually last year for the Kings. So I think and you brought it up, the Europe trip, Buffalo coming back from that, maybe dealing with some little bit of jet lag, still getting back to the Eastern time zone. Kings probably have a little bit of a rest advantage, if you can call it that. The first game of the year here. But yeah, the thing that I don't like about the Kings is without Drew Doughty, their defense just is not good. Mikey Anderson, Jordan Spence, top pair, Gavrikov, Kyle Burrows. But that leads me to believe that they're just going to play even more of a defensive style. Like they might try to push for more offense, but I mean, Kopitar and Deneau, two good defensive forwards, defensive centers, could kind of hang back as third centers there. Second line of Fiala, Byfield, Fogle, maybe do a lot of offense for them. Don't like Fogle really on that second line, but not sure who else they can really put there. And yeah, Darcy Kemper, big save Dave in that is fine there. Sabres, yeah, I did like what I saw from UPL and more so Devin Levi. That's the game I actually watched of the Sabres against the Devils. They won't have to deal with any real speed on the Kings here. So yeah, I agree with you on the under 6.5 minus 122. I lean that way. Haven't quite bet that, but I did bet the Kings here at minus 115.
New game or first game with the Kings for Darcy Kemper too. So that's slightly concerning. It usually takes goaltenders a little bit of time to get adjusted to a new system.
That's a good point there. All right, going down to the 7 p.m. time slot, we got the Montreal Canadiens at the Boston Bruins. Game itself is in Boston at the Gardens. Bruins minus 245 favorites. Bruins on the puck line are plus 105. Canadians are plus 200. Canadians on the puck line are minus 125. The over-under is set at 6. Both the over and under are here at minus 110. Canadians play tonight. They're at home against Toronto, I believe. So I kind of want to see what happens in that one. Boston coming off a beat down by the Panthers down there in Florida. I think, they're going to get back home here and get the job done. Last year, they weren't covering a lot of puck lines, and I'm always kind of scary of betting that, especially early in the year. But I think that's probably the way to go here. Bruins minus 1.5 plus 105. I don't know if they've named a starter yet.
Montembeault tonight, so probably Caden Primo tomorrow.
Caden Primo tomorrow. I meant for Boston more so, but good to know about Montreal. But I could see Swayman getting in a game here. Maybe they want to get him a few more.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Swayman.
Okay, yeah. If it's Swayman, then me and Bruins on the puck line plus 105. No real lean on the total. If you want to look for something else, maybe Bruins team total over 3.5 against the Canadians. They ended up getting 4 against the Panthers, right? They ended up covering the I think it was. So
yep.
Yeah, not playing the Stanley Cup champions. They're at home against the Canadians. So give me the Bruins on the puck line plus 105.
If it weren't for the situation with the Canadians playing the Leafs tonight, I would be all over the Habs here. My line is only minus 186 for the Bruins, so sheer power ratings suggest taking the Habs here. But like I said, they're playing their better goaltender tonight against the Leafs. So that'll be an emotional game as well. Then they got to go down to Boston. That's not ideal. This is another game I have not bet. But if I had to bet it, I would take the over 6, I think, considering the Bruins are still getting used to their relatively new defense, losing Grzelcyk and getting Zadorov in there. And the problem is that they don't have much of a power play still. Like last year, their power play struggled. I think that they'll get it going eventually at least better than it was last year. And Pasternak did not look quite in form yet, to say the least. So that's why I'm staying away from the total. But yeah, this is a game where I'd love to bet the Canadians, but it's just a terrible spot. So I'm sorry, I don't have anything for this game. I think the Bruins get a better effort though. Like they were terrible in the first period, and that really set up for their loss. They were not ready for the Panthers. Like they just came out like storm busters, like they were still playing the Stanley Cup Finals. And so I'm not gonna take too much away from the Bruins' poor performance there, especially with the banner raising night and all that. So I'm not downgrading the Bruins at all after that performance, but I just can't get to minus 245 here. It's a little steep. So if anything, if they keep getting bet, I might take a plug your nose play with the Habs if they get to like plus 230 or something like that. That's what I need to bet this game really, unless the total goes crazy in one direction or another. Maybe if Caden Primo starts, the over gets bet and then maybe takes him under. But as of now, I got nothing on this.
I mean, I could see the Canadians getting up there to plus 230. The
They
Bruins
got
just
bet against today like crazy.
yeah, the Bruins have their number. They've won I think to 9 out of the past 10. I think in 12 out of the last 13 here I'm seeing. Last year the Bruins won 9-4 at home, 5-2 at home. 2 games in Montreal both went to overtime with Montreal getting a win, but I mean outscoring them 14-6 in TD Garden. I think we're maybe even see a Boston maybe a race to 4, race to 5 here. If we're going to break that out this season, could be a good time to do it. Or just a puck line, maybe minus 2.5, depending what that's at. Okay, going down to 7 p.m. again here. We have those Florida Panthers at the Ottawa Senators. Game itself is in Canada. Senators are plus 114. Panthers are minus 135. Over under is at 6.5. Over paying off minus 105 with the under at minus 115. Joel, what do you got for this one?
Well, I bet the Panthers. This is a game I have bet. But yeah, this is another team we haven't seen yet in the Ottawa Senators, but we saw a lot of good from the Panthers in the previous game. I think they keep that momentum going forward. My line is only minus 133, so I'm definitely close to the Panthers here in terms of the power rankings, but I think that they're just they have a lot more room to be better, and the Senators have a lot more room to be worse than what I have them rated at. And yeah, like the Senators, they don't have a new coach. Travis Green came in at the end of last year, but still, he's still introducing his own system. Panthers, they know what they're doing. They're very familiar with how to play Paul Maurice's style. And I think that they just keep things rolling here, building off the momentum of winning the Stanley Cup. So I think this is a cheap price here for a team that are favored to win the Atlantic Division at minus 135. Ottawa Senators are not a great home team either, so quite like that. And the total, I mean, the way the Panthers played, like they could have scored a lot more goals than they did against the Bruins. Corpusalo was not exactly terrible, a couple sneaky bad goals, but they were totally outplayed in that one by the Panthers offense. So lean to the over 6.5, but the only thing I bet here is the Panthers money line.
Yeah, I absolutely love the Panthers here on Loon minus 135. Don't trust the Senators yet. When we were talking about the Verhaeghe contract, I meant to bring this up. I got Barkov, Kachuk, Reinhart, Lundell, and Verhaeghe all locked up to until at least 2030, along with Forsling on the blue line. So that's a pretty good core there they're building with. Yeah, Ottawa's still trying to get something going here. Josh Norris healthy, Shane Pinto third line, not suspended anymore. Linus Allmark fresh off his extension here, but Panthers just as many road wins as home wins last season, both 26. Ottawa just 21, 18, and 2 at home last year, just barely over 500. So, yeah, love the Panthers here, especially last year. They swept the series. They've won 9 of the past 10 meetings. Last year went 5-0, 3-2 in overtime, 6-0, and 2-0. So they just completely shut down Ottawa's offense. So lean to the under, if anything, here, but I'm probably just going to stay away from the total. Go with the Panthers puck money line minus 135, potentially Panthers puck line at plus 180. And we got Catfish here in the chat saying Panthers over 3.5 is plus 108. He likes that. I like that as well. I think that's a good look here with how much they were scoring against Boston, a much better team. So all over the Panthers here, every which way.
And again, a new goalie, a new system, and Linus Allmark playing behind a much worse defense. So don't hate that either.
All right, going on to 7 p.m. time slot again. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs at the New Jersey Devils. Game itself is in New Jersey. Devils are minus 135. Maple Leafs are plus 114. Over under is at 6.5. Overpaying off minus 120 with the under at plus 100 here. Before we get into this game, we have to acknowledge that Joseph Wall has been placed on the IR to start the season, which is very, very Leafs-like of him. So he will be missing at least 7 days, I believe. And the Leafs called up Hildeby, something like that. Dennis
Hildebeest, yes,
as the backup here. Anthony Stolarz getting the start tonight against the Canadiens and going with the worst goalie against the Devils team that is already 2-0, has already shown that they can win pretty handily against bad teams. Obviously, the Leafs probably just as good, if not better, than the Devils in terms of team composition this year. But Markstrom versus Hildeby, Toronto with travel. I don't know if border crossing games matter now with all the restrictions lifted, obviously, but still decent amount of travel there from Montreal down to New Jersey. So love the Devils here. Very similar to the Panthers. Devils minus 135. Devils puck line plus 185. Team totals probably is similar to plus 110 or something. So give me the Devils here, and definitely give me the over 6.5. You got a Devils game. You got a Leafs game playing a third string goalie, really. So, yeah, give me Devils in the over.
Love it. Yep. Can't disagree with any of that. The Devils, of course, the one concern is that they are also coming back from Europe. And historically, that's not been a great situation for these teams. But yeah, it's an even worse situation for the Leafs, who are playing the Canadiens tonight. And you know what? A lot depends on how this game goes. Like, if the Leafs beat the Canadiens, I love the Devils even more. If they lose, they don't want to start 0-2, and they'll actually have to give their best effort tomorrow against the Devils. But yeah, as of now, either way, I still like the Devils here to get it done. Minus 135. I think that price will go up. And yeah, the over 6.5 here. I know the new coaching style, the Craig Berube, maybe they're not quite as offensively oriented, but I still think that their team is structured that way, when being top heavy, and they're a weak defense. I think, especially with new guys being brought in, they're not going to be structurally sound, I don't think. And the Devils, of course, Sheldon Keefe, he does like to play an offensive style. Both those games did go under in the Prague games, but that was a lot due to Markstrom, and then the Sabres just no showing on the Saturday game. So I still think the Devils are an over team in general. So yeah, I love the Devils here. You could do the team total as well. That makes a lot of sense. And the over 6.5, I think, is a great bet. Like, I don't think Stolarz is playing both games, so we'll likely see Hilda be here. This is the ultimate schedule loss, I think. Early in the season, they're not going to be going balls to the wall to win this one. I mean, maybe if they lose to the Habs, they feel differently, but we can't project that exactly. We know that they're heavily favored against the Habs, so that's another reason why we expect the Leafs to win tonight, and then we'll take the Devils tomorrow.
Yeah, and the Leafs have 3 and 4 too, so I can't imagine they'll start Stolarz on the road. They'll probably save him for the home opener on Saturday against the Penguins. So, yeah, love the Devils here, and yeah, the games went under in Prague because the Sabres can't
Keep
score.
Revenge game, of course.
oh, yeah, even better. All over the Devils here. Okay, we are brought to you by BetUS. Bet with the best in the business. BetUS. BetUS has been around for more than 30 years. Easily deposit using cryptocurrency and get lightning fast payouts. U.S. players are always welcome. Sign up and deposit $100, and you have a chance to win a 1960 Ford Mustang. Use our link to sign up and get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. Promo code SGPN. And make sure you check out Rhythm. It's the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform to help provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. You can build your own model. They can build one for you, or you can copy one of the top performing models for the year. Give you predictions for every game and player prop with stats, research, and trend analysis. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right, going down to the 7:30 p.m. time slot, we have the Utah Yotes at the New York Islanders. Game itself is on Long Island. Islanders are minus 155. Yotes are plus 130. Over under is at 6. Overpaying off minus 102. With the under at minus 118. Joel, what do you got for this one with Varley starting for the Isles?
Yeah, with Varlamov starting, I don't know. I don't understand this line exactly. Like, the Oats, they showed a lot, especially in the first period of the last game. They have quite competent offense. And yeah, my line is only minus 125, and that was assuming Sorokin is starting. I know Varlamov is, he played equal to him in the second half of last year, but still, he doesn't have quite the ceiling that Sorokin does. So I got to lean to the hockey club. In fact, I might even bet this. I haven't bet it yet, but plus 130 here, I'm sure you could find better as well, is an appealing line. Like I said, Islanders only minus 125 by my numbers. I know it's their home opener and all that, so you got to factor that's baked in and whatnot. But still, like the Oats are they got some momentum now for that home win there. Maybe it's a letdown spot you can argue because they just won their home opener there for the new fan base in Salt Lake City. But still, I just can't get to this price, and I'm high on the Islanders as well. So yeah, I don't quite understand why they're so heavily favored. But my favorite bet in this game is the over 6. We talked about how they played against the Blackhawks, the Yotes, and the goaltending wasn't exactly inspiring. Connor Hennigan was fine, but not elite, I would say. And their defense is still getting used to each other. They got a couple new pieces there with Sergachev and whatnot. And their offense is clicking. Like they have an elite first line. I think that they can take on the Islanders defense. And Patrick Roy these aren't the old Wayne Lambert Islanders, the old Barry Trotz Islanders. Patrick Roy has got this team playing a more offensive style. So the over 6, I think, is quite a good bet. One of my favorite bets of the board. And yeah, with Varlamov on there, I like that even better. And yeah, so the over 6 is my favorite bet, but probably going to end up betting the Utah Yotes as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a strong feeling about this one because this is a good old fashioned pass game for me. I want to see how Utah does on the road now as their new franchise. Because as Archer notes in the chat here, the Yotes have not been a good road team, been a good home team due to that advantage at Mullet Arena there in the shadows. But yeah, last year on the road, 14, 22, and 5. Islanders on a great home team, 21, 10, and 10, but can't get the minus.
What a record, 21, 10, and 10. Well, all those overtime games.
That leads to my point. Maybe an overtime game here. Maybe a 3-3, 4-4 type of overtime game here. Can't take the Islanders at minus 155. Can't lay that type of juice. And I don't know if plus 130 is enough for the Utah Hockey Club here, given that they've only played against the Blackhawks, who their defense sucks. Like the Islanders are very much more sound defensively, always going to play well, even if Patrick Roy is pushing for more offense here. So let me click in right here, see what the draw line will be for the Islanders home opener, because that would be very Islanders to go draw plus 320, throw a quarter unit on that. That'll probably be my only look for this game. But I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I just can't get to the point of betting it myself. Okay, go down to the 8 p.m. time slot here. We have the Columbus Blue Jackets at the Minnesota Wild. Game itself is in Minnesota. Wild are minus 238. Wild on the puck line are plus 110. Blue Jackets are plus 195. Blue Jackets puck line minus 130. Over under at 6.5. Over at plus 100. Under at minus 120 here. There's only one way to look here, and it's the Wild. Blue Jackets have a ton of injuries already, and we already are fading them big this year, 3-1 for worst record. Wild, people are talking up a decent bit as being like not a shoo-in for the playoffs, but like they should make the playoffs. And looking at their offense, I mean, yeah, maybe they should. They got Hartman down there on the third line, got a decent top 6. Brock Faber, Jared Spurgeon back now, obviously. Not sure why they're playing Zach Bogosian big minutes here. Not big minutes, or just at all on the third pair. Philip Gustafson's been decent there. So, yeah, if I lean anyway here, it's going to be to the Wild minus 238. Maybe a puck line plus 110. I know the Blue Jackets were kind of tough towards the end of last year. Playing spoiler a bit, but Wild home opener, puck line plus 110 would be my only look. I haven't bet it. I probably won't bet it, but that's how I would bet it if I had to.
Yeah, I have the Wild at minus 252. So by far the biggest.
Is that with like Jenner out too? Have you updated that?
Yeah. I downgraded the Blue Jackets for the injuries. So yeah, I think that they'll get bet some as well. This is a game where it could be like a sneaky spot for a road dog in the future. But when it's a home opener, you're going to get the best effort from the Wild, so they're not going to be hungover or any shit like that. So yeah, if the Wild, you could do the puck line plus 110, minus 1.5 there. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, like you said, the Blue Jackets are injured as shit, and they're just weak everywhere. Terrible offensively, terrible defensively. Goal, give me a break. And the Wild, of course, I think they're their team on the rise. I don't love their decor exactly, but Brock Faber, he can carry a lot of it. He can compensate for the deficiencies of an aging Jonas Brodin, who has not been quite the elite defenseman that he has been in the past. Jared Spurgeon also aging, like you mentioned, Zach Bogosian, but Brock Faber, I think if he plays, he played so much last year, so he can just carry this team, I think, on the back end. And great offense too, with the Kaprizov doing the Lord's work there on the first line. I just in every way the Wild are a better team here, so I think they smoked the Blue Jackets and in their home opener. So the -1.5 at +110 is a good look. I also bet the money line as well if you want to lay the juice. But yeah, I just think I would be surprised if the Wild lose this game. Let's just put it that way. Total, I haven't done anything with under 6.5 maybe. But the Blue Jackets, they let in so many goals last year, and they do have a better offense than a defense. So I'm scared of the total. So I didn't touch the total, but give me the Wild all day.
All right, going down to the 8 p.m. time slot again. We have the Dallas Stars at the Nashville Predators. The game itself is in Smashville. Preds are -102. Stars are -118. Over under is at 6. Overpaying off -120 with the under at +100. Joel, what do you have here?
Yeah, of course, we learned that UC Saros will be missing a bit of time. I'm not sure exactly how much time.
Day to day, he's iffy for the opener, so he could still play, but day to day
could still play. All right.
Yeah.
Well, with that uncertainty, makes it a little tricky to bet this game, but I did bet the Stars. I think that they are still the better team, and you're just banking on Saros maybe not being 100%, even if he does play. I mean, my line is like exactly pick him, so there's not exactly value there, but if it's got Wedgwood in that for the Stars, absolutely this line will go up. But yeah, -118, a little bit steep, but it's still lean that way with the potential of Saros missing the game. But my favorite bet is the over 6. Even if Saros does play, I think both these teams have a lot of offensive firepower. And with Burnett's new system, he's got some more offensive weapons than he did last year, and Marchessault and Stamkos, so he'll get some more sharpshooters. And the Stars, of course, they are typically an over team, often because they go down 3-0 to bad teams and storm back to win 5-4. Could see something like that happening again. Not that the Predators are a bad team, just that the Stars tend to play differently period by period. Let's just put it that way. They're very capable of coming back from behind. So yeah, I love the over 6 in this game. I think if I knew Saros is out, then I like the Stars just as much. But right now, even if Saros is in, the over 6 is the play for me.
Well, yeah, you either got Saros or you got the Wedgwood revenge game as a backup for the Predators, signed with them in the offseason from Dallas. So, but yeah, I took Dallas.
Matt Duchene revenge game. How about that?
Matt revenge game. I took Dallas at -105 when that news broke. So -118 now. I'd still probably take it. I would say wait to see if Saros is out and if you can get that at a good price before the news officially comes out. But if you want to take a risk here before the goalie's named, I think -118 isn't a bad price. I'll probably play that up to -120. But if it is Wedgwood, I could see them getting up to maybe -130 or higher. I was actually leaning the other way on the total, under 6 at +100. I know they played a lot of under games. No, they played over games last year. 9-2, 6-3, 4-3. Just these two teams are, I guess, when they go at it, they go back and forth. And yeah, like you said, Stars are a good team to keep an eye on. Maybe bet live if they're getting some shots and not really getting the goals. Could see some time needed for the Predators to get their second line together. They got Marchessault, Stamkos. I think Novak's their center on that second line. They're keeping the top line together of Nyquist, Forsberg, and O'Reilly. But I just think the Stars are a better team, and I definitely have a goaltender advantage if it is Wedgwood. So taking the Stars here -118, probably no play on the total. I would lean to the over if it is Wedgwood for the Preds. All right, going down to the 8 p.m. time slot again. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins at the Detroit Red Wings. Game itself is in Detroit. Red Wings are -130. Penguins are +110. Total at 6.5. Over -115. Under -105 here. Two teams I am fading this season. Back-to-back for the Penguins, though, to start the year. Not really fair to them. They're in New York tonight. No, they're at home tonight, then going to Detroit. So less travel there. I guess that kind of explains the line here a bit. This is another game that I haven't really bet yet, though. Want to see how the Penguins do tonight. Want to see if they come out of tonight healthy, given all their injuries and old heads there in the lineup. I imagine it's Jari tonight for the Pens. They're going to be Joel Blomqvist tomorrow for the Penguins. And then I think I saw Ville Husso is starting for the Red Wings. So if I had to bet this game, would take the over 6.5 at -115. Last year we saw 6-3, 6-3, then 6-5 in overtime. So these teams played quite a few over games. So yeah, maybe I'll end up betting that over 6.5. -115, but no play right now on the side.
Right. My line is only -108 for the Red Wings, but it's just terrible situationally for the Penguins playing against New York and then having to go to Detroit for their home opener. Yeah, that explains the line here quite a bit. I bet the Red Wings. Probably one of the few times I'll bet them this year. This is just terrific spot for them. I don't think they're a better team than the Penguins, but yeah, like I said, it's just yeah, like you said, with all these old guys, they need their rest. They're not ready to go to war again in Detroit.
They need those 8 hours like you got last night.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, I bet Detroit, and I also bet the over 6.5 here with Joel Blomqvist in net for the Pens, most likely, unless Jari does 2 games, but I doubt that. And the Red Wings are pitiful defensively, but they do have some offensive firepower. And Ville Husso has not been quite the same goalie he was in St. Louis. So I love the over 6.5 here and the Red Wings as well. I mean, this is a line that'll probably go up once Blomqvist is confirmed.
All right, that's a good point there. Going down to the final game on the docket now, all the way from 8 down to 10:30. The St. Louis Blues at the San Jose Sharks. Game itself is in the Shark Tank. Sharks are +142. Blues are -170. Over under is at 6. Both around to pick them there. -108 for the over, -112 for the under. Joel, what do you have for this one? And do you know if our good friend One Sharp Shark will be in attendance for like a quarter for a ticket? Probably. Maybe they're paying him to attend.
Yeah, he pays like $1 for a game. The first 9 games of the season, I think he got something like that. But no, I've got nothing for this one. I leaned to the Blues at first, but the more I dig into it, the Blues were not good against the Kraken. They were not. They were lucky to win that game. Now they're laying -170 against the Sharks, and their home opener with a lot of new momentum, a lot of new pieces in there. They're gonna be excited, jumped up, but they're still the Sharks. So like +142 is not quite enough. Maybe if this line goes a little bit bigger, give me a +150 at least, and I'll take the Sharks. Let me check if there is a +150 around. I got my NFL odds screen.
145 is the best I'm seeing.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll monitor this line, see if it goes up any higher. +147 is the best I got at a book I can't bet at. So I got nothing for this one. The total, I think this could be a greasy game. I think it could be a crazy 5-3, 5-4 kind of game. So the over 6 is calling me a little bit. If you're just if you're drunk late at night and you want to bet something, the over 6 would be a fun one. 10:40 on the East Coast. You can't bet the under when it's that late.
No.
So yeah, just a fun bet on the over 6 would be my only recommendation for this one.
Yeah, I agree with that. Much like you, I was like, Blues against the Sharks, -170, coming off a win. I think they were on the road, right, in Seattle, not going down to San Jose. But, Macklin Celebrini's debut. I think I got the new pieces, like you said. If anything, I'll take the Sharks here. +142 is not enough. Need +150 or better. Could easily see it getting there with the public and the casuals taking some money on the Blues. It's tough betting an over in a Blues game because I think Jordan Binnington is underrated, one of the most underrated goalies in the league, possibly just because the Blues give up a lot of shots on goal and he gets a lot of saves, inflated numbers there. But yeah, I'll probably get in here on the over 6 -108. I'm not working Friday. I got a trip planned, so maybe I'll be up for this game, and if I am, I'll definitely bet the over. But yeah, lean that way, and then lean to the Sharks too if the line gets there.
I like it.
All right, that's the 9-game slate there for Thursday, October 10th. We had a few consensus plays there. I forgot consensus plays for our first show, but we had Panthers minus 135, Devils minus 135, the over in the Devils game minus 120. And we both leaned away, or we had to pick one way or the other. Just go back and listen and find consensus plays yourself. We're not tracking them or anything. So just some things there. But we are tracking the Puck Buck Challenge here. No updates, obviously, because there haven't been any games since we last recorded. But Joel, do you have any picks prepped, or should I fire away?
Give me the Devils minus 135. 25 puck bucks there.
25 puck bucks.
Give me the
Devils?
over 6.5 minus 115. 25 puck bucks there.
Who are the Devils playing? Leafs, right?
Leafs.
Over 6.5.
Give me the
Minus 120.
Yotes
there.
Islanders
Taking
over
the Yotes.
6. What's the price we got? Minus 10.
It's closed out of the fucking odds, Joel. Come on.
Okay, I'll just give me even money.
Well, I got it. I tomorrow, Utah Islanders minus 102. I'm trying to get 2 cents on me. Come on.
Good enough.
That's not gonna work on me.
Good
25
enough.
bucks there.
25 puck bucks there.
Right.
And Stars, Predators over 6. That was minus 120, I'm pretty sure. 25 puck bucks there. And finally, Penguins, Red Wings over 6.5. You can get a minus 106 some places, but give me the minus 115. That's fine. 25 puck bucks there. That's it.
A lot of totals for you on the
salami over. Like Archer's been mentioning it in the chat. I love the salami tomorrow. A lot of overs. I think we see a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Been a lot of offense so far. Like they're limited sample size, only 5 games, but I think we're teams are ready to go.
We can do a Discord ride on the meet there for tomorrow night. I'm taking the Kings minus 115. I know I'll go 23 on that to win 20 on the Kings. Boston puck line at plus 105. I'll put 20 on that. Go with the Panthers minus 135. Put 27 on that to win 20. And then I'm going Devils too. Devils minus 135 at 27 puck bucks to win 20. You have any futures you want to add here? We didn't.
No, wait for my monthly stipend.
Okay.
But I got one more for you. Give me the Minnesota Wild, my beloved Wild here.
Okay.
Minus 1.5, plus 110. Or is it plus 105 at that book?
I don't know. You can get plus 110. That's
plus
fine.
110. It's wildly available.
It's plus 110. Yeah.
20 puck bucks on that one.
20 puck bucks on that. Apparently, the Devils line has moved already, according to Archer in the chat. But it's
still widely available at minus 135.
Widely available. Shop around. That's one of the key points of betting on any sport, let alone just hockey. Here is shop around for everything here. I'm going to share the screen real quick so you guys can see the
bets,
the puck bucks bets here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can actually read them.
It looks fancier than my sheet.
I got some formulas in here. So here's mine. This is mine here. This is mine over here.
Formulae.
And then here's Joel's over here. So if you're listening on the podcast, check out the YouTube. It's on there. Or just go back and listen again to see.
Or get in the Discord. I'll be posting my sheet. I finally got the thing set up so you can see all my bets that I've made.
Oh, excellent, fantastic there. I was gonna do some futures, I thought, but I didn't write any down. So I'll wait till tomorrow. We're probably recording tomorrow for Friday and Saturday, possibly if there's odds out for Saturday, because I'm not gonna be here
tomorrow. How many games are there on Friday?
4 Friday and then 14 Saturday.
Well, let's just do Friday.
I'm not going to be here Friday. I can't record Friday.
Okay. All right. Fine. We'll do both Friday and Saturday games then.
Yeah, it's going to be a bukkake there with 18 games. It's 18 games in total.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Make sure you're subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen. Subscribe everywhere. Subscribe multiple places. It helps. We appreciate it. Climbing up the charts, seeing those downloads go up. We appreciate all of that. get in the Discord, as we said, sg.pn/Discord, or reach out to me on Twitter or the Hockey Gambling Podcast Twitter account at HockeySGPN, and we'll send you the link there. All right. Anything else, Joel, before we close it out?
No, I'm good. I bet the 49ers tomorrow, -3.5, plus 101 against the Seahawks. So hopefully that comes in. Need a winning NFL bet.
Yeah, are they finally going to like fucking put it together, the Niners here?
They are the better team against both the Cardinals and the Rams. They just somehow managed to fuck the bed at the end of those games and managed to lose. I got the under 11.5 wins for the Niners, so that's good. And I love the Seahawks, but the Seahawks have not been worthy of a winning record so far. So give me the Niners here. They've been underperforming. Seahawks been overperforming. So that's the logic. I think Niners just crush them.
I think someone in our group
Seahawks
chat
are terribly injured as well.
I think someone in our group chat last week bet on the Niners to win the NFC to buy low. I'm checking what they're at right now. Right now they're plus 425, and I don't know who's going to beat them. I don't.
Speaking of buying low, Purdy MVP I think has got some legs. I'm already in on 18-1. I don't know what the current price is, but
I'll check it out right here. Most valuable player. Who's even the favorite right now?
Mahomes,
yeah. Obviously, you can get 5-1. He's as low as plus 230. Brock Purdy
from Mahomes.
According to this, that's at BetMGM 5-1. Purdy
probably wrong.
Purdy, you can get 22-1 or
22-1. Yeah, that's buying low
at DraftKings. I've seen people talk about Sam Darnold for MVP.
No,
that seems insane. It seems like
he's not winning that.
Insane thing to do.
Same with him doing a comeback player of the year because they changed the fucking rules, so it can't be just going from bad to good anymore, like Geno Smith or Joe Flacco, our guy. It's got to be somebody who's coming back from injury.
Yep. That BetMGM on Mahomes is definitely wrong because this site has Darnold at 200-1 still. When he's 12-1 elsewhere. So
there you go.
Yeah, plus 280 for Mahomes. Yeah, Purdy.
Bet, actually.
Could definitely come back. Yeah. All right, that's going to do it here then. I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Marnie. You find me hanging out with Knuckleheads, legendary listener. He's coming over tonight. We're going to watch the Canucks game together.
Oh, shit. All right.
That'll be fun.
Get in the Discord for that. See ya.